Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Look at Tharsis. Tharsis is a game that is coming out this Tuesday, which should be January 12th. This video is probably going to go live Monday, January the 11th, so it'll be out tomorrow on Steam. It is a strategy, not really tactics game. A strategy management game might be the best way to put it. Another description that I've heard, it sounds kind of needlessly reductive, I guess, but it's a little bit like Space Yahtzee. There's a lot of dice rolling, and then those dice basically correlate to resources. You apply those resources to help yourself manage a survival situation. It's not really a roguelite, but it's different every time, if that makes sense. It's not necessarily a linear game. A game that might be a good description or a good analog for it is actually Gods Will Be Watching. Even though the mechanics are a little bit different, it's a game that mostly deals with, management with a little bit of random chance thrown in, or a lot of random chance thrown in a survival situation. This is coming out, like I said, tomorrow from Choice Provisions, formerly known as Gaijin Games, Bit Trip Runner, Runner 2, Future Legend of Rhythm Alien, and more. I'm trying to think of the other one. Laser Life, Whoa Dave, etc., etc. You know them. And it's going to be $10 for a little bit after it comes out, $15 after that opening week sale is done. For now, let's start a new game, and I'll explain what's going on here. You basically start with 4 crew in a space station, and your job is to keep all of them alive and as healthy as possible because you need them. They're basically their own resource that helps you solve problems on this space station where things are going terribly wrong on your way to Mars. So it's like an inverted The Martian situation, if you will. Now, you can unlock new members as well, including Jedi Master Saifa Diaz, but I don't have it. Well, it's possible that we could unlock the Technician over the course of this one, but the rest of them are not gonna happen anytime soon. I've played about an hour and a half of this so far, an hour on the NLSS and about half an hour myself leisurely, because I'm actually having a really good time with the game, and I've only eaten 10 human meals. And when they say human meals, they're not talking about a ham sandwich, if you know what I mean. We may be able to harvest 20 food. Beating the game I have not even come close to, but we'll start, not view the tutorial, and it is a little bit story-driven as well. There is some voice work in the back. The story doesn't change every single time you play through the game, so it's really, I wouldn't say it's kind of a one-and-done thing, but it's more like the mechanics or the focus of the game as opposed to the actual, narrative conceits that happen. Basically, you're on a space station and things have gone terribly wrong. So it is a turn-based strategy game. The game always starts with kind of the same situation, almost like FTL, even though this is not really an analog to FTL. In FTL, you're like, okay, you're out running the rebel ships, they're slowly catching up to you, and every warp you do, you encounter new stuff. It's kind of like that. A cluster of micrometeoroids have crippled the Iktomi, which is our space station here, and killed 2 crew. J. Cross has been ejected into space, and Mapia Musgrave suffered a fatal injury. Your new goal, survive. Now, there's a lot of systems at work here that I want to talk about, so we'll start by talking about just the overall objective and what could possibly go, like, outrageously wrong. First, this is like the win-lose condition. If your ship goes down to 0 health, you die. If all of your crew members die, this is their health on the right and their stress on the left, this little green bar, you die, you lose. The red lines underneath show how much damage you'll take at the end of this turn if you don't fix the problems. The problems are these events that are labeled here. Meteoroid strike just tells you what went wrong here. 23 is the value of the dice total needed in order to fix the problem. 2 and 3 represent penalty rolls, which I'll talk about later. These 2 represent the 2 ticks of damage up here. So if we do nothing, if we don't fix this at least, by the end of our turn, we'll take 2 damage and our ship will only have 1 HP left. So what do we do about that? Well, our crew, like I said, is a resource. We can take our crew and put them in this module, which you can see right here, and then we have to basically roll a 23 in order to repair this. Now with 4 dice, that's pretty difficult. We're gonna need to have to average like 5.8 or something ridiculous. So that's a little bit, it's plausible maybe even, considering we do get 2 rerolls here, but unlikely. So we're probably gonna have to have our crew work together in order to solve this. So let's roll first, and then I'll explain what's going on here. I'm trying to go slow because there are a lot of systems at play. So, let me explain what just happened where it said assist there. Our assists are a resource, and we just used up our last one. I'll talk about food a little later. We rolled a 2. Normally that's a penalty, which means you can't re-roll that dice. But because we, you re-roll that die, I should say. But because we had an assist, that erased 1 penalty. But we have no assist left, so if we roll a 2 in the future, we're screwed. I am going to commit a 5 here, because that's a pretty good roll, and I think I'll commit the 4 as well. And now we only need 14, which obviously is not possible with the 2 dice we have. So now we can do something else with our dice. Obviously a 1 is not very good. I'll probably put the 4 up there just to make it easier for somebody else to repair it. With our 1, if we had something over a 5, we could use this. We could put the dice in here and get our HP back to maximum. This is because this is our medical bay module. There's also like a food module where you can produce food, or an engineering bay where you can make the ship's HP more. Or we could also use the 5 or 6 for our class ability, give +1 health to crew that are in the module. Because we rolled a 1, instead, we'll put this in our research projects. This gives us 1 research point, which we can use on one of these. Obviously, we can't do anything with it right now, because this one costs 6, this one costs 4, this one costs 4. But for now, at least we get something out of our roll. It wasn't a total waste. So this is not fully repaired. Let's send, I mean, 2 dice to get a 10 is kind of little tricky. Let's hedge our bets and send our specialist here. She gets +1 reroll, and she only needs to get 10 with 3 dice, which is relatively easy with 3 rerolls for sure. All right, so we have a 3 that we're stuck with. Unfortunately, this is kind of tough because we could just do the health recovery instead. And once we put it there, we can't take it out, by the way, and heal her to full. But I guess maybe we'll do it like this. We'll heal for 12 and kind of waste one of those 6s, and then we'll bank the 3 for more research points. So the game is all about, you know, making the best of what you've got with these rolls. There's a little bit of that, like, poker, I'll keep, well, not like Texas Hold'em, but, you know, poker, like, I'll keep these dice and, I'll re-roll these ones basically to try to make the best hand possible. But it changes every single time. Now, you might be thinking, well, we got to get up here. We've got 3 dice between 2 people to get this system fail taken care of. But to be honest with you, it's very unlikely that we get that. So I think what we're going to do instead is try to make some food. So we'll deploy our mechanic into the greenhouse, and then we'll roll. And if we roll doubles, we can make food. If we don't roll doubles, we could heal the ship maybe if we roll a 5 or a 6. Or we could bank some research points and maybe do something on our next turn with research. Okay, we rolled 2 5s. We could get food, and food is really useful, but I think it may actually be better to just heal the ship for 1. And then with this 5, maybe bank it for research. And then we've only got 1 unit left. With 1 die, they're not really going to be able to do basically anything at all, but we might as well get a little bit of repair done to this first system here. 1 is not very good for us because we can't even use it for a research project. 5 we also can't use for a research project, but at least we can do our class ability, which gives +1 die to all crew in the module. So, depending on the class that you're using, they can actually really basically buff up the other units that are in the area. So now every unit that comes to this module will get +1 die. And die are a resource as well, or dice are a resource, I should say, that you can use in order to... you can use and lose, I should say. You lose like 1 dice per turn, or it depends on some things that are happening. But anyway, we also have target lock loss here. The targeting software in flight control has lost track of Mars and aligned to a default vector. The star tracker also lost calibration due to this change. So I believe that means that we actually won't move any closer to Mars maybe on this turn. But now we finished, and we're going to see what happens here. We don't need to see that. It's just narrative stuff. I actually don't know what the negative benefit of losing the target is, but there's a lot of systems at play here, so it takes a while to kind of wrap your head around it. You also have a side project every week, and the side projects change based on what the stress and health of your crew are. So 1 finger cannot lift a pebble. We need these supplies to work together. +1 food, -1 health for all units. Or -1 ship and -30% stress. I think that probably will do... I mean, we can afford to lose the health and get more dice. We could also afford for the ship to take some damage, but our crew is not that stressed out right now, so let's have them all get hit. Unfortunately, yeah, they're not very pleased about that. But we do at least have 2 food remaining here. So the food gives you +3 dice, so we'll use 1 on our mechanic, 1 on our specialist, because they get 1 extra reroll. So that it's more advantageous there, maybe. Okay, then every turn that goes by, there's new events as well. Another mechanic I haven't talked about too much is unit HP, but basically if a unit moves through, like if there's, let's say we have Kayla Jones here. If we wanted Kayla Jones, who is currently in our medical bay, to heal the command module, she would have to walk through, or, you know, space fly through the greenhouse. That causes her to take 1 damage. Imagine like an FTL when a unit walks through fire, they take damage. So that's our problem here. This is a real problem because we get -1 dice to all units after this turn is over if we don't heal this. So we do have, it's a little bit overkill to use 4 dice to try to get 8 points, but hopefully we can harvest some food with it as well or get some research points. Now we also have injury rolls. The rolls get more punishing as the game goes on. So if we roll a 5, he'll take 1 damage. The first 5 won't hurt because we have an assist though. So you can use research to kind of mitigate that. Hopefully we won't have to. So we need 8. It's not fantastic, but we could do like 4, 3, and 1, and then that's repaired. Then we have a 6 that we can use to give +1 to the ship. We've already done it, so I'm stuck with it. We could have also gotten a research point or banked it for more food, but I think giving +1 to the ship is worth it. But I would really love to get some food over the course of this. And now that we've healed that, we can actually have Alison Silva come up here, and she'll deploy up here, and all she has to do is make sure that she rolls 18 between 5 dice with 3 rerolls. The problem is a 2 and a 3 will void it. So we got a 2 there. Our assist just got used. But we won't have an assist on our next one. So if we roll a 2 or a 3, those dice are just gone, which actually presents a serious problem. So what I'm actually going to do is use a 2 for a research point. This gives us error check, prevents void. We'll use that, and that means that we actually cannot roll void anymore. Even if we roll a 2 or a 3, it won't make the dice disappear. So the void was blocked, which is awesome. We still need to roll higher, though, so we're trying to get 8 here. Clearly that's not going to happen, but on the bright side, it's going to be very easy for us to finish this. We probably should have committed the resources differently. That's really the learning curve of the game, is choosing, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Which resources you want and which ones you don't necessarily need. So I kind of feel like using a 3 here is fine, and we've got this fixed, and then we'll bank a 5. Ooh. Yeah, I think that's probably better. Better than just getting a research point out of it. Now, the caveat here is that we definitely will not... I mean, it's theoretically possible, but we probably will not be able to fix this, and as a result, we'll take 1 damage. But, it's like Magic the Gathering. Your life is a resource that you can actually use to survive. Might be nice to roll a 5 or greater here and bank it, and then we get 3 assists, which will be really useful. But remember, if we roll a 4, we're going to take some HP damage. And there comes an HP here. An HP that we've lost. Where did my research point go? I thought I banked a research point. We'll roll again. No 4s. But that is the end of our turn, basically. So we're only banking 1. We get 2 research points. And the ship will take 1 damage as well. So basically, it is like Gods Will Be Watching, or it's like FTL in the sense that you're always going to be fighting a losing battle, and you never really seem to get one over on Mother Nature, or Mother Universe, whatever you want to call it here. The elements will always whittle you down. The only question is whether or not you can survive long enough to actually make it to Mars. I have no idea what happens when you make it to Mars. I've only gotten maybe to 5 or 6 weeks. It gets, increasingly difficult all the time. +1 dice, -2 ship, or +1 food, -2 ship. I think 1 dice for everybody is better than 3 dice that can only go to 1 unit. So I'll take the ship penalty for now, which will suck pretty bad. But everybody else got 1 dice, which is pretty good. Okay, now we have some real problems. We got 4 events, and our ship will die. We also have a serious problem in that this one gives us -2 health to everybody. So that will kill Kayla Jones and Alison Silva if the turn ends. So I think first, we come down here, and we roll to try to make some food, but also heal this area. Ooh, this is weird because it's exactly enough. We need to heal this area so that units can make it through, basically. It'll also do 1 ship damage. So, although we could do +1 ship HP here, it might be best to bank it. I don't know. I'll tell you what. Let's try. And then we could put 2 in the food, but it's a little dangerous. +1 ship almost keeps us alive. To me, +1 ship is as good because we basically... Well, let's put the 3 in research. This is not going well, though. And I guess with the 1, we'll bank there in case we can make some food later. And we can't reroll this, so we'll just throw this in here. All right, finish deployment. That didn't go too well. The 1 is almost as good as healing it because we can... I mean, it's the same, right? We're only losing 1 here if we make a mistake. We really need to fix this solar flare. So what I'm actually thinking is maybe we could get disaster reduce and then send a unit down here and just heal 28 in 1 go. We need 9... No assists and 2 void rolls. Man, this is going to be tough, but sure. We're going to try to deploy here and really hope we don't get... Oh, there's no void. Okay, so just hope you don't get a 2. 6-4-1. We do take an injury, but we can put, do 6 and 4, and then that event's complete. And now there's no negative penalty, so we can reroll again. And we got a 6, and that means no movement damage to any units for the rest of the turn. We just got that there. That's a huge passive bonus for us. Now, 5 dice, trying to get a 26. Is this possible? Yes. Is it plausible? Ooh, I don't know, but we'll try it here. Let's do this. We can also get ship repair if we roll triples, and that will give us 2 to 3 ship saved, basically. So this is a very unfortunate situation. Basically, we have to bank these because they're so good. But then we also have a 3 and a 1 that we can't do anything with. So pretty much we just have to throw those on there and then finish deployment. But remember, we take no movement damage, so we can actually send our doctor down here. And then they only need a 6 between 2 dice. 2 3s would do it. A 5 and a 3 will do it as well. Beautiful. So that gets repaired, so our units won't die yet. But we will take 2 ship damage this turn and be down to 1 HP. The red ticks there indicate our next turn, by the way. And if you're not following all of this, that's totally fine, man. Like, this is, it's a game with a lot of systems. I'm just trying to do my best to show you how it actually plays from, like, a gameplay loop standpoint. Here's our choice now. +1 food or plus 30% stress. +1 food and plus 30% stress, or +1 health plus 20% stress. I think we probably need the HP more. Although our dice are real low. Yeah. Now we can actually, if we wanted to, engage in another kind of hook of the game, which is cannibalism. So we had that one unit who died. They were frozen, and then we cut them into delicious-looking steaks. So if we need dice, on turn 4, I guess, or round 4, you can start to feed your units human food. They don't really like that too much. It really stresses them out, but it also gives them dice. And when you run out of the fruits of cannibalism, you can actually kill your crew members to get more food as well. So, again, like Gods Will Be Watching, it definitely, it deals with the darker side of survival, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If we wanted to, we could also shuffle for 1 research point and get 3 new, basically, research cards that we could use here. I'm going to start to talk about, what I think about the game, and I actually think Tharsis is really fun, but if you look at this and say, like, oh, it's space Yahtzee, it's dictated too much by random chance, you know, I know there's a lot of people out there that hate games like XCOM and hate games like Darkest Dungeon because they basically deal with dice rolls and RNG, and even if you play optimally, the RNG can fuck you. I know that was a huge complaint with Gods Will Be Watching as well. I like that. I don't think there's an objective positive or negative game design kind of ideal for that either way. I really like when the game kind of fucks you over even when you play well, because sometimes it means that you can play poorly and RNG can kind of buoy you beyond what you'd expect, you know? I'm not going to make an argument like, oh, that's what real life is like. I'm just saying that's my personal preference. So I really liked Gods Will Be Watching. It's much more similar to Gods Will Be Watching than it is to something like XCOM or FTL. The only reason I keep bringing up FTL is because it's survival in space. But I've been having a really good time so far, and I've found myself playing this in my casual time as well. But I recognize that not everybody is as kind of titillated by, physical board game mechanics mapped into a digital environment, which is basically what this is. It feels a little bit like playing like a single-player game of Forbidden Island or something like that, if you've ever played the board game. Which is neat. I quite like it, and it's really unlike anything else I've ever played so far this year. But I know when we played it on stream, a lot of people were like, hey, this is really cool, but a lot of people were also like, Resident Sleeper. This looks like, boring, kind of like, well, I guess it just looks boring. But personally, I find myself really enjoying it. I'm excited to talk about it a little bit more on the Roundtable podcast this week, too. All right, we're going to die this turn, so prepare yourself for that. How do we do this? Probably... We need to heal, we need to stop all of the damage coming through, or we need to heal our ship. So, we could heal our ship for 3 very easily, is what I'm thinking. So why not just have the captain come in here? You got 4 dice. 2 of them will be stasis, which I'd rather not have happen. The dice turn red, by the way, after you've eaten a human. The 1 we can't do anything with. Although we could get more food, I actually think we harvest, bank the 1, fix the module, which will heal 1 ship damage, and then put 1 more in research. And I really want to get repair arm done, basically. Then we can live, actually, out this turn, and that's pretty much, take it one turn at a time, baby. That's all we can do. The problem here, 2 dice will be voided. On this one, only 1 dice will be voided, which might give us a chance at survival. So let's take our doctor and deploy them here. We can also get ship repair if we roll doubles. So, like, double threes wouldn't be that bad. 2 of our dice just got flippin' voided. That's real bad. I'm going to try to repair this. But we could admit it had... You know, I'll tell you what. There you go. Now we've got 5 research points. Let's use them all to heal our ship. Now we survive for 1 more turn. So everything else that we do at this point is just gravy. Stop rolling 1s, because they're voiding the... It's going to void the dice. We don't get to re-roll them. Okay, that's fine. 443 does give us a repair. Alright, so now we're actually going to have 2 HP left after this round. But no food, so... we could really use some food so that our units have more dice left. Like, for example, how many dice do you have? 3, 3, 3. I might just take the 2 damage and try to bank some food on this turn. But it's not guaranteed. But there's no penalties here, so all we have to do is roll some 1s. Wow, I really wish that I had not put a 5 in there, I guess. But I guess we'll heal the ship for 1 and then reroll these other 2. Healing for 1 is pretty valuable. We just rolled 5 5s in a row. I'm going to reroll. Oh, we can't reroll again, so... We'll just put 1 in our side project, finish deployment. Can't do anything with our other dice. The dice hold, people are always like, you can use the dice hold for anybody. You can't. It's module specific, or it's unit specific. It's basically just where you put stuff there that you don't want to use. I don't want to spoil some of the story. There is some story beats that come in these later quests as well. Okay, as stress gets higher, things become more problematic, and they can fraction into more groups here. Focus people, +1 food, -2 ship. Hey, ship, want to stop hurting me? It's stupid. +2 assists, -1 HP. This will actually kill our doctor, so probably not. -20% stress for me, -1 ship. And then it gives +10 stress to the other units. Assuming that won't kill our ship, I don't dislike that. I don't think we need to eat cannibal food this time. Alright, let's see if we can, you know, stretch it out and survive for 1 more turn. Just looking. We need to stop a lot of problems. We could heal the ship once. Like, that's definitely doable. I'm really worried about voided dice, man. Okay, our mechanic. Is there anything we can do? Like, here's what I'm thinking. Rolls say, okay, let's try this. It may or may not work, but let's try it. We're going to deploy our mechanic here. Yes, I know he has 5 dice. Our goal is actually to put all 5, like, to basically get a straight. We need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And then we'll be able to do disaster reduce. Well, we got 2, 3, 4, at least. And then we can heal the ship for 1, which seems advisable. And maybe a 1 or a 6 here would be awesome. We got a 3, which you can just bank to try to harvest food later. I wanted to roll there because it's safest. If we rolled here, we could lose 2 dice per turn. Or more, actually. So what man, I don't know. We might be fucked. Like, now I'm in the module. The problem is the events, you know, they stack up on one another. Now I'm in the module that allows us to repair the ship if we get doubles. So I'm thinking you put a 6 down here, roll these other 2, hope for doubles or a 1. That's not doubles or a 1. That's not doubles or a 1, so unfortunately our deployment basically is finished there. We can't do anything with those. Unless, I guess, maybe we could throw like a... It doesn't matter whether it was a 4 or a 2, but we could throw a 1 in there. And we're going to try to repair our ship for 2. This could... I know this seems like a desperate move. It could work, I swear. There we go. We've healed for 2. 1 more allows us to heal for 1 more. And we got a 1. Can't really do anything with a 3, so we'll just finish our deployment here. But now we can go down into this module right here, fix it, and save ourselves from taking 2 damage. Things are getting a little dicey here. This will cost us 1 HP to do it. But fixing the module without having to worry about those injury rolls is well worth it. So... Disaster Reduce has been used. Our ship will actually live, which is incredible. And now we get free rolls here. Maybe to reduce stress would be nice. Yeah, that seems smart. Let's reduce stress so that they're less likely to die now. And then, I mean, we could get +1 die to crew in the module, but I feel like maybe just need to bank some research points for now. I can't believe we've actually made it 1 more turn. But next turn, we will definitely die because of the fact that these events just keep stacking and stacking and stacking. We're going to have, you know, 2... This is, like, exactly the furthest I've ever made it, by the way. That'll kill you. So, we'll take this one. And I think, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. Everybody's got to eat, baby. And we could kill this unit and then eat some more, but that's okay. All right, how much damage are we taking this turn? We're taking 6 damage this turn. Ooh, this is a problem. We also have voided dice everywhere. This is just stasis. Even though you only have 2 rolls, let's give it a try. 1 and 2 are stasis, so we used an assist there. 6 and 4, that's pretty good. We can at least try. I don't know how we're going to get someone down there. It's going to cost him 2 health, but sure, let's go for it. We got a chance. Oh, that's so bad. The 1, we might as well bank for research. The 5, heal the ship, even though this one's worth 2 if we can solve it. Oh, no, 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 this is so bad. Okay, sure. Can anybody else get to that module and live? Would it even make a difference? I don't know. -1 health to all will also kill this unit if we don't fix it, so let's send the doctor in here. Please solve the problem. Could also give you +1 health, which actually seems advisable, so you might live through this problem. 6, 5, 4, 3. There we go, event complete. That didn't stop any damage, but it does at least allow you to move through here without dying. And this is the big one. 19 on 4 dice. 1 stasis basically fucks us. This is exactly 19. I'm amazed. I think we die anyway, but that was an incredible roll. Yep, we're still done. But at the very least, this might be the highest score I've ever put down. So that's Tharsis. I like it a great deal. It's very difficult. I'm probably missing out on some of the meta that would allow me to play a little bit better, but it's a whole heck of a lot of fun, in my opinion. That being said, this is a game that I think it's polite to describe it as niche, or niche, depending on your pronunciation, or niche if you just want to be wrong. I'm joking, by the way. Uh-oh. I have had a computer crash. No, my display driver crashed. That's my bad. That's not Nvidia's, or that's not Tharsis' bad. That's my driver. On the bright side, it seems like we're still recording. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. It's available on Steam starting tomorrow for $10 USD. Will be $15 after the opening week sale's done. If you're into these kind of mechanics, I think this could be a game that could take up a lot of your time in January, for sure. If you're kind of a strategy management sort of person, I think you'll like it. I'm having a good time with it so far. Definitely one of the highlights of what is, the infancy of the year so far. If you're not, you should know right off the bat, this is not going to do anything that's going to change your mind on it. It's a game that seems like it's made for a niche audience, but I think it hits that audience pretty well. For now, you can check out the link in the video description below if you want to pick it up on Steam. And of course, if you enjoyed the episode, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, though, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.